What's up, Ravens fans? We are through the first game of the preseason and the first several weeks of training camp, and there's lots of questions right now about this team, so let's just jump right into them in this week's Ravens mailbag. Here's the first one. It comes from Tion, and the question is, with all the question marks at kick returner and punt returner, do you think there's a possibility the Ravens look to sign return specialist Devin Hester, one of the best to ever do it at that spot?
He is. I would say they would only sign Devin Hester in an emergency situation, not when they still have question marks. It would be after they have those questions answered, and the answers ain't good.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to give Michael Campanaro every shot to earn that job, as well as Keenan Reynolds. Now, from what we've seen so far, I wouldn't say that Keenan's ready to be the week one returner. He just hasn't been consistent enough catching the ball. Now, that could change. He could prove more in the next 3 preseason games, but as I look at it now, he's not ready for that job. Michael Campanaro, I think, definitely is. They've shown a lot of confidence in him over the years. It's just a matter of him being on the field. So if Campanaro is on the field and healthy, I think it's his job. If he's not, then I could see a late signing of Devin Hester because you know he can do it. But he's 33 years old, coming off of toe surgery. So it's not a great option. It's an emergency option.
Yeah, it's not option A or B. You know, you want to go with Campanaro and you want to see if he can get the job done and he's healthy.
Plus, he takes a roster spot. That's a roster spot that it's tight right now in this Ravens roster. They want to keep Campanaro. They want to keep that 6 wide receiver. If you have to give it to a specialty returner, it's taken away from somewhere else.
Yep. All right, the next question deals with some more transactions. This question is from Howard. He wants to know, can you see the Ravens trading one of their tight ends or running backs with how deep they are at those positions? Well, no, I don't really see this. And I just go through these positions and look at them. I mean, running back, who would you trade? Who's the guy to trade? Is it Justin Forsett? Well, I don't think so. Here's the thing you need to consider when you're talking about trades. You need to have a partner on the other end.
Got to be a dance partner.
There's got to be somebody willing to trade and willing to give something up. Also, if they know that you're going to cut somebody at that spot, you know what they do? They say, we'll wait it out.
Yeah.
Give you nothing for him and then try to get him once he hits the open market. Just look, at tight end, who would it be? Would it be Crockett Gilmore? The Ravens aren't going to trade him. Same with Dennis Pitta. Max Williams, are they going to trade him in his second year? I know that the Ravens have a lot of players in those spots, more than they probably know what to do with.
But they can keep all of them. You're going to keep 4 tight ends this year. I would be shocked if they didn't. So you can keep all 4. You can keep all 4 running backs, I think, that you can still do that.
Where's the room for Devin Hester?
That means no room for Devin Hester. But I think the Ravens still, when there's Trent Richardson was on the team still, when there was, Lorenzo Taliaferro, then you said, well, man, if Trent Richardson had balled out in the preseason, then you had too many guys. Right now, you have a lot of guys, but I don't know that you have too many at those positions.
And just real quick, you got to consider Nick Boyle suspended first 10 games.
Yes.
Darren Waller suspended first 4
games. It's going to be interesting once those guys come back. Then we're going to be talking.
Yeah, we'll save Howard's question to week 5.
Yeah, exactly. Our last question comes from Hibachi at Oglefro. Since Terrance Brooks and Matt Elam have looked relatively good, what are the chances they keep both and cut Kendrick Lewis? This is an interesting question because I think that everybody, all training camp long, has been saying, well, it's going to be Elam or Brooks. But he's right. When you look at who's been making the plays on the field, and that's what head coach John Harbaugh says it comes down to, who's making the plays on the field. And I've seen more plays from Brooks and Elam than I have from Kendrick Lewis. Kendrick Lewis is a very solid player. Dean Pease has come out and said, this guy, he's solid. He's at the right place, in the right spot when you need him to be. But we didn't see a lot of playmaking from Kendrick last year during the regular season when he was a starter almost the entire year, and I haven't seen a lot during training camp. So to me, I think that's on the table now. I think that will be a conversation that's had. Do we keep Elam and Brooks and maybe let go of Kendrick?
Yeah, it's going to be tough to do that, though. The coaching staff really likes Kendrick Lewis and what he provides, and he's a solid option with a lot of starting experience. He's played a lot of games.
Exactly, but do you opt for experience or do you opt for maybe upside? Matt Elam and Terrance Brooks have a lot of upside.
If that upside is starting up here, then maybe. But John Harbaugh said it. We're not looking for projects, really, at any position. They don't have the opportunity to wait on anybody at this point.
But they're looking for people who make plays.
I know.
Who's making the plays.
That's the balance. And this is a good segue. This is a good teaser to tell you to join our You Pick the Team contest because you can tell us who you think is going to be on our 53-man roster. If you get it right, you'll be coming out to the Bills game week 1, have sideline passes. It's a really cool deal. Also, make sure you're sending in those questions to us every week on social media. Thanks for watching today. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.